me go ahead and hit record right here.
Okay.
Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another Scale Riders podcast episode. We are at number 199 with my guest all the way from New Jersey, Vision124. What's up, man? How you doing?
Hey, what's up, Edgar? What's going on? How's everybody doing?
Yeah, pretty good, pretty good. Just trying to stay dry over here on our end,
Yeah, man. I heard about I saw that there's a storm over there. It's anywhere near you or
At first it started up in Northern California where we started to see floodings up there, but now just recently in the days it's already like hitting out over here on this side
okay.
where the rain's coming in pretty hard. And even yesterday, I would say yesterday we saw like lightning and like loud thunder, like it was kind of intense with the rain. Uh,
Right.
but these upcoming days should be kind of chill as far as rain, but then it's supposed to come back again. You know,
Oh, wow. Okay.
so we'll see. How are things on your end as far as like the weather out there?
Good. Actually right around Christmas was really cold, dude. It was like 8, 9 degrees. So,
Damn.
normally, like our cold front usually comes like somewhere in January, like mid-January, early February is when it really gets really cold.
Hmm.
But for some reason, we got cold weather around Christmas that whole week, and then but it actually we got some rain after, and then it kind of dropped down. It raised up to 50s, which is for us that's still that's warm, at this time of year.
Yeah. Damn.
But it's been kind of just like cloudy days, but at
Mhm.
least the cold is bearable compared to what it was a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, man, that's crazy. What a way to start the year, right?
Yeah, man. Dude, as long as we don't get that white stuff coming down,
Yeah.
dude, because when it's snowing and it's cold,
Uh-huh.
it just makes everything a challenge.
Yeah.
Going anywhere, even work is even tougher for me. At work is,
Hmm.
I work outside when I have to and all that. So it's always a challenge, but so far so good. We just been getting a couple of days with flurries, but nothing crazy.
Hmm. Right on, man. That's
Mhm.
cool. And as far as like this year starting off, did you make any kind of like New Year's resolutions regarding like model building?
For as far as model building, I have a couple of shows in mind that I have. Usually towards like around the holidays, December, the end of the year, I start thinking about, all right, my plans for the next year. So um, I do have a plan to go to the West Coast. Armando Flores, been talking to him a lot on the phone and all that, and he's gonna do another presentation in sometime in May. So I don't know exactly when yet, but he's gonna do another presentation. So like I did for the last one when he did the 805 presentation at Dead End Magazine, I told him that I want to be part of it. So that's one thing I got coming up in May. So I'm building a replica truck from this builder called E-Dog Customs, I believe. And it's a 65 Ford pickup. And it's a lowrider style with murals. And it's a nice truck. So I'm going to try to build a replica of that, but I'm just going to kind of keep it simple. It's going to be a collab with me and Armando. I'm going to actually build the truck, but I'm going to actually do the body work and send it to him so he can do the paint because it's out of my league. It's something that the low rider guys could do, and Armando, say he can do it. So, yeah. So that's one build that I got going on for the year. I'm actually gonna start working on it really soon. So that's one. Uh, Before that, we got NNL East that's finally coming back for at least I believe the last 3 years. Uh, when we had the lockdown until now. They're finally gonna bring it back. So that's gonna come in April. So that's a big show. And usually I work with those guys. So, I'm part of, working that show. So me and my club, so yeah, that's our biggest show anyway over here in the East. So that's in April. And actually May as well. My club, you know how we do our barbecue. So we try to. It's hard for us to get together because we all live kind of far. We don't we don't all live close to each other. So we kind of pick one of the members' house, and we kind of do a barbecue. So and then what we've been doing is picking a theme. So we got a theme for the next one. And the thing about the theme, the thing that is cool is that what we do is we don't show progress. That way, when you go to the barbecue, it's kind of like a surprise. You kind of unveil your build. It's kind of like in SEMA, when builders build their builds and they kind of unveil it at the show. So we kind of do that, and it's kind of cool because um a whole 6 months, 5 months, whatever months before, you're kind of wondering what everybody's building. So we unveil it one by one, and it's kind of cool. It's kind of it makes it more interesting, than just, all right, barbecue, hanging out.
Yeah, the unveiling. I remember one time you guys like posted a video. You guys are hanging out and doing the unveiling, and
Yeah.
it was just kind of cool because I could see that you guys were all getting that like first impression of like, oh damn, like look what's there,
Right.
and
Right.
it was very like exciting just to kind of see that. And
Yeah.
to me,
And it was uh-huh.
no, I was just gonna say it's just crazy. I appreciate that you guys are very committed to actually like come through, and have the builds
Yeah.
done because it's tough for everybody to come together and have a done
Yeah.
build.
Yeah. And I think what kind of sparked that was um being that we weren't having any shows up this way. It was kind of like the very few shows that were available, like not all of us can go. So like if we plan this way ahead of time, then it gives everybody, all right, we set a date, and we have like 5 months or even more before that date. So you kind of plan way ahead of time, and then you have plenty of time to make your build. And so it kind of it's easier for guys to be like, you know what, there's no shows, I'm really looking forward to this. As far as getting together with modelers, and it's not just members. We actually invite other guys that aren't members. I mean, we're a community regardless. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't It's not supposed to, it's not, we don't kind of just say, all right, it's just us guys. But yeah, we try to get all the members to at least get together, bring projects, talk model cars, have fun, have a couple of beers, whatever we want. Everybody brings something, and it's a good time. It's a good time. So we've been looking forward to it because, like I said, not that many shows over here, so it kind of get guys really amped up to do something. And then picking a theme and kind of keeping it a secret is cool because you kind of, man, I wonder what this guy's gonna do. Oh man, I'm curious of it. And then you could kind of like trick everybody and just build something that no one would expect you to do. So like, I like to build stance cars or whatever, but like, let's just say I do a lifted truck that is muddy or something, like nobody expected that. So, you get a chance to kind of, twist the narrative of what people think you're going to build. So that makes it fun.
That's dope. And what have you guys decided on the theme for this year?
Yeah. So kind of this last barbecue we had, I think we did in August, I believe, but whenever we did it, but we decided we kind of let everybody pick a couple, and then we kind of just say, all right, what sounds best, what sounds easier, what sounds the most fun to build, because you kind of want to pick something that everybody's down to build, because if not, it's kind of not everybody's gonna take it serious. So we landed on doing TV and movie cars, you know, which is cool because there's a lot of kids that are out there, movie cars like Batmobiles, you know, a bunch of cars, of Ghostbusters cars,
Night Raider.
so Knight Rider and the General Lee and all that, and 18 Van. So basically that's the theme. But the rules we said was, make sure it's 124 to 125th scale. That way they all kind of, we always kind of try to build a diorama or something, a scene, so like a 118 scale will look kind of funny, or like 132 will look funny in the thing. So we try to, always the rules to try to make it 124, 125th scale. That's number one. So the theme also is kind of like, the rule is to build, like, let's just say I'm building, all right, a Knight Rider car, So as long as it's the right scale and you can modify it, but it has to resemble that car. Like, like as long as I still choose the 83 Trans Am that car is in real life, So, or let's just say it's the Charger. As long as it's that year Charger, you can make it a lifted General Lee, Deuce has a car, a lifted one or a slammed one or whatever. But as long as it's that same car, we don't want you to do like, all right, I'm gonna do the Bandit car, but you use the new Trans Am. It's kind of like that's not really, So we kind of just like, you can modify as much as you want. You could do a weathered version, but as long as it resembles the real car. So if it's you're gonna do this generally, that let it be the 69 Charger or whatever it is, let it be the Trans Am from the thing, or let it be the Ghostbusters car, but make sure it's that car. Don't use a different kit and put like Ghostbuster stickers and be like, oh, that's my build. So
Yeah.
that's kind of like, it's just kind of like, you can build those on the side, but let your real car, your real build be that. Like, if it's gonna be a Herbie, then make sure it's a bug from like those years. So I mean, I think it makes it fun because you have a chance to be creative with the kit. Like I have my Herbie, but I did it my style. But it's still, people recognize it's still a Herbie. It's still from the Herbie from the movie. Like, it's still, you could still recognize the car that is that. So, I mean, I think it's gonna be fun. I have two builds in mind. I started one, and depending on how quick I get those, I'm not gonna get too crazy with them, but depending on how quick I get with those, maybe I'll do a third one. So.
Yeah, and man, like we've noticed we've been missing you on Instagram. You haven't been on Instagram as much these days.
Yeah.
But
Look, man.
aside from being busy and all that
Yeah.
stuff, you still have found like some time to go to the bench and work on some stuff in the meantime.
Yeah, I have actually. I have been building some behind the scenes, some stuff behind the scenes. Not really finishing stuff because I have been busy. As far as Instagram, I do be on it. I do see what some people have been putting out, great stuff, but I just been personally just have been so busy. Plus, I was just I got burnt out like with the social media, that I needed a break from it. So I tried to get back on there, started posting. I did post some stuff with our barbecue and stuff, which was cool. But I just found myself like, man, I just didn't feel like posting. Like I needed a break from it, and I do want to continue to start posting soon, and I think I will, because I do have these projects coming up. But I do have some, I did build a few. I'll show you. I have a few here on the bench that I could I do have a lot of started projects that I didn't finish. So if I could, and they're more than halfway done. So all I have to do is just kind of pick one and finish it, so I have some on the bench here. We could show in a little while, whatever you want to do.
No,
How
yeah,
about
for
you, man?
sure.
Have you been building?
Yeah, I've been staying quite busy as of
Uh-huh.
lately. I mean, there was a time where like last year I was just kind of like not doing much. I
Yeah,
was just, you know, like focusing on like packaging orders, stuff like that, more the business side of the scale writer store. But then once I had the time to like motivate myself to, all right, let me do a build, I started to really look at all the current projects that I hadn't even completed. And I
yeah,
started to think like, all right, which is the one that gets me excited? Which is the one that is going to really motivate me to get to the finish line and
yeah,
get it done. And so I had to like pretty much put away all those ones that I was like, I don't want to do these. And then I started to kind of start fresh with certain ones, but
yeah,
then just cleaning out my bench and setting it up a certain way that I had like, all right, my tools are right here, whatever I need,
mhm,
it's right in front of me. And then now
yeah,
I can display my models right in front of me too above. So this way I can get like motivated as
yeah,
well, and inspired. And when I would be working on one, I'd look up and I'll see the other one and start getting ideas like, oh, this is what I should do to this one.
right,
But I had these hesitations still where I was kind of like, man, I don't know how to polish with the Dremel yet. Like I haven't took that plunge, you
right,
know?
right, right,
So I started to see what people were doing with their builds with the polishing, how it just made it look so much better.
right.
And finally, once I like got it, instruction of how to do it, and I went for it, and I saw the results. That fear went away. That I was like, what was I even worried about? Like ruining it,
Yeah, 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 exactly.
and I
You know
just
what?
kept
Uh,
going. Now,
yeah, you know what? I started to think like, you know, sometimes we're too hard on ourselves with these builds, and that takes the fun away out of it. So I just kind of go with a different approach now. It's just like, don't overthink it. Just finish the build, go to the next one. You know what I'm saying? Because uh, sometimes I'm just like my worst critic, for myself, and then I kind of lose focus, and I kind of lose interest and finish the build sometimes, and or something else kind of grabs my attention quick. But it kind of makes me feel bad when I come back and I see those other builds, and man, I don't have much to go on this. I could finish this, or I got to get back to that one. So my one of my goals this year is to finish a lot of these builds, because a lot of them are really close to being done, and some of them I kind of put together where they look finished. Like I just went to Atlanta this last show in November. I had a great time, and I brought two builds only, but that's because I had a really busy year. Outside of modeling, I just busy. So I barely had time, but I did finish the Porsche that I did for the barbecue. Well, it's not completely finished, but it's finished enough where I was able to bring it. So I bought that, and then there was a rocket bunny that I started years ago, and I said, man, you know what? Let me just bring two builds, but at least some things that pop. So a couple of builds that pop. So I did bring the two, and the nice thing about that was that they were both photographed. So they might end up coming out in the magazine. So like for Modelcars
yeah,
and the Acme the shoot. So yeah, so that's always cool.
that's
So
dope. Oh, right
yeah,
now you brought up the Porsche. You have that in front of you, right?
Yeah.
If you can, you know, flip the camera and
yeah,
tell
let
us
me
about
do
the
that.
Porsche. I'll let you speak so this way
Okay.
the camera is on you.
Right on. Can you see it?
Yeah. All right, go
Okay.
for it, dude. Go for it.
Yeah, so this is pretty much this was my build that I kept secret. So I couldn't really do like post anything on it because it was one of those builds from the barbecue that I had to unveil. Let me see if I can put better light on it. Okay. So basically, this one, lately I've been having a kick. I've been loving Porsches, right? These original style Porsches. So I've been on YouTube looking at a lot of these. They're called resto mod Porsches, which basically, uh, they're modified with suspension, wheels, and modernizing them. You know what I'm saying? So uh, I've been working on Porsche and I've been really loving them. So this one here is kind of like my take on if I had one and I want to do it with kind of like a JDM flair. You know what I'm saying? So kind of has work wheels that you will see like on a JDM car. Like these are from Scale Stars. These wheels and it kind of I got a it's kind of like a track version car and being that I kind of went with that JDM theme, I actually made it a right hand drive, so the steering was on the right side, as you can see. And basically, like I said, I kept it simple, but I kind of wanted to make it pop, so I kind of went with this color. It's a Gaia Notes color, and I got this from Gavin. Little model car parts. He built a truck and he made like this pink peach looking truck. Um, and I asked him the color, so he was able to get it. So I ordered it and I went with that. So yeah, this is kind of like I kind of kept it simple. It's not 100% done. I still have some suspension work to do and some motor detail. I kind of right now for the Acme show, I kind of just white glued the uh the hood closed, the trunk, but in there, as you can see through the grill, it's a LS motor. I kind of my twist was to do a LS swap on it. So that's the Porsche, man. And like a lot of people liked in the Acme show, and yeah, it's one of my favorites. It's kind of a little different. So
Man,
yes,
that thing is nice, dude. I'm like trying to hold my words so this way it just keeps, you know, focusing on your car there. But you know, just looking at it right there, and you know, I like the way how glossy, like the shine that it is.
yeah, man.
On,
With my shiny builds, man, I take a lot of time to go and polish them out, and that takes time, but at the end result is worth it because um that's what people see first. And I always slam them down like if they were an air ride, because to me that's how they look the toughest. And like this trunk, I cut the original trunk out with a different wing, and I put the duckbill wing. Scale who is it? Scale Production sells the resin duckbill wing on trunk there. So, which is actually the bonnet or the hood for this car. But yeah, I mean, there was a couple of things like I didn't see doesn't have mirrors. I actually painted the mirrors, but I didn't have time to put them on. I had the different kind of headlights to put on, but I put those on just to kind of finish it real quick. And the amber lights there on the bumper, they're supposed to be some air ducts, and I color matched them, and but they ended up. I needed to put something quick, so I'll revisit to this one, and I'll go get back to that one, and can you hear me?
yeah, yeah. Go for it.
Um, I'll get back to that one, and and I'll finish all those final details on it, because even in the engine bay, I needed to put some other stuff to finish that LS. So once I finish that one, I'll go ahead and you know I'll um I'll post a video on YouTube, or what I'll do is I'll put some updated photos on Instagram about it.
Nice.
That
Yeah,
was
man. I
that.
mean, I love the color. At first, I thought it was probably like that pig pink kind of color.
Yeah, you know what? It's very, very close to that. And you know what? I could even say it's that color because um looking at pictures of it, it's the pig pink. It's pretty much the same. But
Hmm.
I actually just picked like in person, it looks kind of more like a peachy pink, like in between. But in pictures and all that, it kind of it looks just like that pink Porsche color.
Yeah,
Pink.
no, man, that's dope. I really like it. As far as like the interior, like the seats and like the colors, like are you already like thinking of the color, that's gonna go with the body? Like, do you already have this vision of how you want this to kind of come, or are you kind of freestyling certain things as you're going along?
Well, like I kind of have a vision always in the beginning, and then as I go along with my builds, they can change. Like I can be like right in the beginning, I always build. I go for pretty much once I get the wheels and tires and I mock it up, and once that's done, everything else is secondary. So wheels and tires is always the most important. As long as I mark it up and it looks good, then everything else is secondary. Then I'll start choosing seats and everything. So did that one part. I actually had some scale production seats. They were resin seats, and they're really detailed, man. I actually did carbon fiber in the back. I cleared it. I did. It's a two-tone, and I put a harness on it. But the thing is, some of these builds, once you put it in, you just don't see it. So I do have some pictures, and once I finish it, I'll do a full detail picture, and when I'll do it on YouTube, I'll show a little more.
Yeah, imagine like going to a show and you just bring like this huge stack of photos of all those
Yeah,
details that
yeah,
you say
yeah,
you missed, and then you put your model right in the middle and you put those big photos around it, taking up all the space. And they're
yeah,
like, damn. And you're
yeah.
like,
They'll
dude,
be
it's right
pissed,
there.
man. They'll be pissed. But guys, I noticed in shows, guys have been more savvy, man. I mean, I've seen guys even now lately. You know how they have these little picture frames that you put a flash drive in it, and it just turns to different pictures. So I've seen that, and that's dope. You know what I'm saying? Because you can put like a picture frame behind it, one of those digital ones, and show a bunch of progress pictures until so if somebody's really interested, they could actually stand there and look at that. So
Yeah,
yeah, it's crazy how technology and everything, it all spreads all around everything we do.
bringing
So
it
I
in.
found that's cool because I mean, even some guys put a book, but the digital little picture frame's cool too. I found out that, oh, that's dope to do that.
Yeah.
Especially on special builds that you really went all out.
Mhm.
It's good to do that, and it's good for the judges to see that too.
Yeah, like the first pages, like you're like, oh, these are the receipts. This is what I bought.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I bought the
crazy, right?
paint from this store right here. No.
Yeah, that's crazy because if people get to that detail explaining, man, so that'll scare some people away of what we actually spend on these builds.
Yeah, and then on page 3, I had to return it because my lady tripped. Like, why'd I buy a second kit? Nah, dang.
Yeah, man.
Nah, that's cool. So you went out to Acme. I wanted to talk about that. How was that?
Yeah,
How was Acme?
always a good experience. I recommend anybody if they want to try a show, outside of their state, if they want to travel. that's one show that I do recommend, because in the scale of things, it's not like one of those shows like NNL East that is like a big building and three different like NNL East is a different monster. It's two rooms of vending alone, a big gym of just a show. It's kind of smaller scale, but the quality of builds that come in there are amazing. So like just the first time I went years ago, I was blown away. But a lot of YouTubers like to go to that. So you get to meet these guys in person, and everybody, and then the club itself, the Acme crew, man, the hospitality and the show is run very good. They're very good builders in that show, and everybody's very friendly. And it's an NNL type of show, so you know um you're not getting judged every class, but they have a top 10, and then they have some specialty awards and the theme awards and all that, and best of show. And but like I said, even if you don't make it top 10 your builds, you're gonna have fun, because the modelers, the caliber of modelers that go there, and what you see in the tables, it's worth the trip. It's worth the trip. So
Yeah, it's
so
like
I plan to go again this year, man. This year they're actually gonna do it a little earlier, not in November. They're gonna probably do it sometime in October. I haven't been in Facebook, but I'm not sure if they did the actual date. But they said it's gonna be sometime in October. So it's I want to go to that one because it's gonna be a new venue, new place, supposedly gonna be bigger. So I plan to be back. So actually, um, I already have some builds planned for that, and that's one of the other shows that I always try to go to.
man, that's cool. Yeah, I mean, I could see, as far as not tripping about being like on the top 10, but seeing that, everyone who's there just to be like pretty inspired to check out and have your models along with everybody else's on the table.
Yeah, and the quality is crazy, and there's guys that just go to that show and they don't go to one other show, so they're top builders, so you're gonna even if it's a NASCAR car that you're not into building NASCARs, but you're gonna be super impressed of the craftsmanship of these builders, and the displays. I mean, they go all out, and I have yet to been disappointed. And I recommend everybody to try to, if they want to go to a far show or even fly, I fly there every year. I try to go anyway, and it's a good time.
Man, I trip out like you've traveled to, all the different shows in different areas throughout the US, from the
I
East
try.
Coast,
I try.
Texas area, and the West
You know
Coast.
what? I last year. I did plan to go to the Texas show that Detail Junkies and uh, those guys have did, but I had an emergency, so I couldn't. I had to cancel that flight. But I definitely want to go to Texas. I haven't talked. I haven't had a meeting with the guys from Dedicated. I mean, the plan was for us to try to do a show in Texas. I don't know where that is. We'll know soon. But if there is gonna be one, then Texas will be another destination for me this year.
Dang,
I
right
hope,
on.
you know.
Let me go on the chat right now on
Okay.
YouTube to see if we got any questions here. Let's see. So I see one here from Scale Model Cars, Ryan. He wants to know if we're gonna be going to the last GSL this year.
When is that one?
I believe it's in May. I don't have the information in front of me, but if
Okay.
I don't know if Frank could confirm that if it's in May. That's I just don't know exactly like the date where,
You
but
know what? I've always wanted to go to that show, and I've always missed it, and that's true that that's the last one. Hopefully it ends up being in May. It's gonna be tough for me, but hopefully if it is, maybe towards the end of the month, maybe I can still make it. But that'd be
Yeah,
great.
yeah, if it's the beginning of the month, it's gonna be hard for me because it's always it's very critical on my end with work at the
Yeah,
beginning
yeah.
of that month right there. But Ryan, I found a question he had asked earlier. He wanted to know what you thought about tropical glitz paint. Have you used it? Tropical glitz paint, George?
You know what? I do have a couple of bottles for some builds, but I have yet to use it. I've I I have one for this. I have actually like 3 bottles for a couple of different builds, and I haven't used them yet. Have you tried have you used it? You have, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I've used it in the early stages. Like this
Right.
is I'm talking about like when Manny was primarily selling just the flake.
Right.
And if there was any paint that he was selling, like a 2 ounce, 4 ounce bottle, it was House of Color paint at that time. And then I remember he reached out and he was like, "Hey, we're gonna start coming out with our own paints." And he had sent me this one. It was called like Beach Ball or Bomb or something like that.
Yeah. Mhm.
That and then their silver. It's kind of like the Orion silver from House of Color, but I can't. I don't know if it's Galactic silver. I can't remember the name that they had for that though. But he did send me those at that time, and I remember trying them out. And like, I did get the proper coverage that I needed as far as laying down like a silver base over primer.
Yeah.
And then the secondary color of the paint, it laid out nice. It was almost like a shift. They had like a color shift. And
Nice.
after that, I there wasn't, because it was barely like in those early stages. There
Yeah.
wasn't
Yeah. Yeah.
coming out. So that was kind of all I saw at that time. And then they were promoting the silver a lot, like as a base,
Yeah.
um, kind of like their metallic silver. And then I don't know if it was like a year later or 2 years later was when now the paint line got extended and all these like colors started coming out and people were buying the ready
Yeah.
to spray. Around that
Yeah.
time, I took a break from like painting and all that,
Right.
I just wasn't able to do it, so I didn't like get any of it. But I know that at least now, I've been using a lot of Splash, but if I, decide to do like a custom car, um,
Mhm.
I know I could always, I have that available, like as to purchase, to be
Yeah.
able to use, and it's urethane, so it shouldn't be that too crazy anymore. I mean, compared to like when I barely started, those were
Yeah.
the learning stages. You keep messing up and like wasting a lot of paint.
Yeah. My take on like trying new paints. I do test them. I don't just go ahead and grab a new paint and just start shooting on the project. Like I spray paint. I'll start priming a bunch of spoons, and I'll start hitting on the new paint on that. Usually, it's always to me a primer. It's usually good with everything. And then I'll lay down, like, even if it's splash, I wanna just, like, you know what, it looks good from the bottle, but let me just spray it. And then I'll spray it, and then I'll clear it as well with the clear I use. It's usually I've been using the 2-part, actually the 3-part House of Color clear. So
Yeah. Is
I
that
always,
the showcase?
yeah,
Clear
yeah,
that you got? Yeah.
right. So I've been using that. And I always, when the new paint, even splash or whatever, I'll spray a can. I'll paint the spoons, and then I'll clear it. That way, if it's something's gonna happen, let it happen on the spoon. And then so that's what I've been doing, and I always try it. So I do have the tropical glitz other ones that I am gonna test before I put them on the thing. But yeah, good paints. I mean, from what I see people using it, they like it. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Do you have the Herbie in front of you?
I don't, but I could go get it. Give me one
Yeah,
second.
bring it. We want to see it for sure. This is a request from Casey right here. So thank you guys for joining us in the chat. Let me go on here. Man, we got what's up, Armando? We got Armando Flores here.
What's
Uh,
up, fellas? What's up,
yeah,
Slowly? What's up,
Marcos.
Casey, Marcos? Let me
Yeah,
just set up a
David. We
little.
got David from Spain. Also,
What's up, David?
Eternals.
124 Eternals. One
Dang.
love to those guys, man.
Yeah.
Those are our people, man. Well, I want to go to Spain. I got to link up with those guys, man.
Dang. I'll be out there in March.
Oh, nice,
Yeah, I'm gonna
nice,
link up. I'm gonna link up with David out there.
awesome, bro.
And then,
Let me turn this around real quick.
yeah, go ahead. And then I'll let you speak.
Yeah.
Tell us about Herbie and everything, and
Okay.
that way we
Yeah.
can focus on the car. Dang.
Okay. So this is the Herbie car. So this is probably been the most like the car that really, if I needed to be put in the map, it would probably be this build. And I didn't expect it to be a, a splash like that, but this car has gotten a lot of recognition, and kind of like my vision was of this car was I always loved this bug, and I watched all the movies and all that, but I always wanted to do, man, what if it had like a sliding rag? What if it be slammed to the ground? What if it had the same look, but stretch steelies, stretch the wheels out. Right there, I did a luggage in the back, like the Mercedes, uh, Gold Wing, um, the Herb. I put the New Jersey plates, just giving it, you know, my taste. I did a one fog light on that. Let me see if we can open this. Give me one second, guys. Yeah, so this build. So let me see if you can see in here. Just bear with me, guys. So the motor there, pretty much there's a lot of detail work on there. I kind of did color. I did a lot of color matching, and it has billet pulleys, and it has Weber carbs that are plumbed and all that. So I kind of did a lot of work on this. If you can see, there's air ride on there. This is a belly pan. One second. This belly pan I had a scratch build, so then it could be more flat. Only thing, I had to take the exhaust out because it fell out on the trip back. But if you can see, there's air ride on there, and kind of like I color matched everything. The rag is made out of medical tape, and then I use ink markers. Um, the inside is fully detailed. Um, yeah, I did a one fog light. Kind of got a lot of inspiration from a lot of bugs builds that were out there. I've always been into bugs, VWs. In here, there's a lot of detail in here. I don't know if you can see the spare tire, and there's the air ride. It's hinged. Yeah, this was, and I did this swamp cooler. It's scratch built. Um, I opened all the windows up, vented. Yeah, so it's kind of been a joy and a lot of people ask for this build. So yeah, it's been one of my favorites, for sure. While I'm here, I might as well show you what I got in the bench here. So as you can see, I got a couple of Porsches here. This is probably my latest. It's the turbo one from Tamiya. So I'm gonna also build this as a resto mod, meaning, I'm gonna modernize it. Basically, these are Fuchs wheels, Porsche wheels from Scale Production. They're 17-inch. Let me see if I see. I had the package here. They're also from Scale Production. So those are the wheels, the aluminum lips. And once I mocked it up, I was very happy. So, I'm shaving off the bumper things on it, and I'm just gonna. It's what they call on these is they backdate them. They kind of take the other Porsche parts and put them onto this. So there's gonna be a lot of work put into this one. This is one of the builds I want to finish to take to Acme. So I just started filling some stuff because I just want to change it up. Like I'm gonna fill this gas door, and I'm gonna put a round one here, like they do on the old cars. And yeah, so it's gonna, there's a couple of things I got planned for that one. Nice interior. So yeah, stay tuned for that one. Here's another one that I started, and remember, Edgar, that this one, the roof, the pillar had broke, it had cracked there. So I did the repair, and I just got caught up with so many other projects that I never came back to it. So this one I definitely want to get in, finish it sometime this year. So as you can see, I got a bunch of Porsches, and I have others in mind to build. So if you want, we can talk about this one, Edgar. Um, one second. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I'm
Okay.
just being quiet here, so it
Oh
zooms in
yeah,
on
that's
you.
fine. I just want to make sure that we're still on.
Man, all right, this one's
All
dope.
right.
Tell me
So
about this one.
the rocket bunner, the A86, the not the Toyota 86 rocket bunny kit. Let me go to my little stash here. You remember some of this is the original kit there. So what do you call it? Yeah, so this one, this build, I've had put it in the back burner for a long time, and I finally decided, what, let me just, I started looking at my builds, and I said, which one do I want to take to Acme that'll pop. So this one, these are custom decals I got done way back then from Brian Valencia, if any of you guys remember him. 124 stance build. So he made these decals for me. They're based on a Rocket Bunny diecast that I saw. So I just kind of so this year what I did was I updated the wheels. These are the new work wheels. I think they're called S1. And yeah, I kind of just wanted to finish it. I didn't it does have engine detail, but actually just white glued the hood together just so I could just bring it to the show as a curbside. So this was another fun build. I pretty much, this was pretty much done. I just have to do a little like black wash and a couple of little details. I had the option to put a motor in it, so I'm thinking of maybe doing something crazy, a wild motor in there in the future. I can always go back and finish that one. So that's the Rocket Bunny, and it was received well at the show as well. So this one was fun.
Yeah, Casey had a question. You wanted to know on the rear spoiler on that 86, is it custom?
This one here, this was this trip on how old that real spoiler is. Back in a couple of, like, I want to say over 5 years ago, there used to be this company called 81. 8181, and they used to be the only ones that had like body kits and everything for these cars in resin, and they actually made that duckbill wings. So I've had that in my stash for a long time. So that's where that wing came from. And yeah, it was a resin one that I put in there, and they're from Factory 81, I think they were called. And they haven't posted in a while, so it's been a while since they even offer anything else. But yeah, that's where that wing came from.
Man, those are beautiful, bro. Those are so dope. Like just seeing everything. I hope everyone who's tuning in right now watching this is like just admiring and appreciating your work right here because
I appreciate it, man. Like
so
I
dope,
said,
man.
these are some of these builds that, like I said, I have to get back on them. If you guys remember this one, I it's this one's not all finished as well. This truck, it's a 50 Chevy truck that I tried. I went in Iceman's tournament, and I was scrambling in the end to finish this. So there's a lot of detail work that still needs to be done on this truck, but I'm like, you see, it's not totally finished. So I just kind of just want to show you guys some of the details. That's real wood back there. Um, I have a lot of nice like details to put on it, and paint job came out really nice. So I just got to put in some time on this one. The interior came out nice, but there's a lot of things that need to be done to finish it. But that's another one of my builds that I plan to finish this year to bring to shows. Because at the end of the day, it's a nice build. Here's one that I haven't shown no one that I've been working on behind the scenes. Um, my club also they had a theme for Suzuki Samurais, the Jimneys. So this is one that I been working on behind the scenes, and I didn't post anything on it because it was supposed to be one of those private builds that you unveil. But it's at 75%, still needs a lot of work. But this one, man, I those bumpers, I cut them out and send them out for chroming. The chassis under it, it's chromed. I mean, this is kind of like I'm going for like back in the day mini trucking style. They have a lot of pink, hot pink, and all that stuff. This one I'm gonna add a lot of detail junkies. That's part of his detail set for that kit. So yeah, this is first time for you guys to see this, but yeah, this is one that I also want to finish. I got a roll cage in here, that chrome roll cage that is slipped in there. But yeah, this is one of the other ones that I have in the stash to hopefully finish this year. So yeah, this is like I said, one of the other ones. Like I feel bad because I haven't really shown you guys. I should have been
Dang.
posting these, but like I said, me taking a break from posting and Instagram, I figure, once I'll finish all these, I can start, showing you guys more about these builds.
Man, that Suzuki is so sick, bro. Like I had never seen that. This is like exclusive right now. Like first time I'm seeing this right
Yeah,
here. I remember you talking about it last year, like that you were waiting
yeah,
on the chrome parts, but now
yeah,
seeing it coming, together, it looks so
yeah,
beautiful,
yeah.
man. Amazing.
And the plan was to bring it out again, to finish it to come back to NNL West, but that never happened. That trip never happened for me, and then life gets in the way sometimes. So you kind of just got to do what you got to do. This one has the grill from the Hasegawa Suzuki Jimny. So that's the more modern grill. Yeah, so this was gonna be fun. I'm gonna add some other details, but kind of this is kind of like dedicated to detail junkies because me and him worked on doing the detail set for it. So I kind of want to dedicate this build to him, and then you know maybe it'll promote and help him sell some of those detail sets, because it's actually a nice little kit. It's a curbside, but I mean you can really go all out, on this build, so
Man, yeah, dude. No, definitely. It just looks so dope. I can't wait to be able to see it. Hopefully you bring that when you come out here to California.
yeah, I mean the plan is, hopefully is to finish them, all these builds, because like I said, a lot of them's done. Like I the paint is done, it's polished, it's a little dusty now, but it's polished. Like a lot of the hard work is done on these. I just gonna buckle down and just finish them.
Dang.
So,
Start
so
opening more kits, dude. Add to the table.
yeah, man. So let me just now talk to you about the truck that I want to build for Amando's presentation.
Yeah, this is the for the it's like the pink motel. Is that the name
Yeah,
of it?
so Armando's gonna do the Pink Motel presentation sometime in May. Still not official what day it is. So this kit is the Mobius 66 short bed. The truck is actually a 65, but it's the same body style. So I have a magazine of the actual truck. This is the truck that I plan to replicate. You see, it has Krager's, it's low on the ground, and it's gonna be a collaboration build between me and Armando. He's actually gonna do the paint work, but I'm actually gonna do everything else. I do have Big Dog's making me the grill, this custom grill. He's actually drawn it up so he can 3D print it for me. So yeah, this is gonna be a cool little build that like I said, this is gonna go back next on the bench because I have to send it out to Armando to get painted. But this is a really nice truck. If you guys wanna see more of this truck, I believe it's E Dog Customs. He's a painter, I believe, and that's his truck. So I want to build that truck for that presentation. So that's kind of like what I have in, pretty much planned for this year. Like I said, those are gonna keep me busy. I have other builds, but at the end of the day, you know, um, I don't want to say I would want to do so many others when I know that it's hard. It's hard to kind of balance these builds and get them all done in a timely manner. You know.
Yeah, like it all just comes together with its time. There's certain ones, like for example, like that truck there, you gotta, give that one more priority, get that one
Yeah,
going
exactly.
to send that
Uh,
out on time to get worked on.
yeah, I mean, like I said, I did a lot of detail work. Uh, Look at that. So that this is right here. Some of these parts are from like that's a little luggage that's gonna go right there on the step side. It's part of lowrider Gavin or lowrider model cars detail stuff. So and this little cooler, then I color matched it. And yeah, I really love these 50 Chevy trucks. So I'll be building a lot more of those. I have at least 5 of those kits, and I have plans for all of them. But yeah, I just gotta finish them up, man. And once this was finished, it's gonna look a lot better. You'll see. But a lot of like I said, I'll be using Detail Junkies detail set plus a lot of Gavin's model car lowrider model car parts on this build as well. Those are his artillery wheels, which they're gorgeous. And those white walls are from Model Halls. They sell white walls. Those are resin, and they actually fit that bill really nice. So
That's dope.
represent, Edgar represents.
Oh,
Get
thank
right.
you, man. Hell yeah, that's what's up. That's cool, man. Appreciate you.
I want to paint these stands. I just have to find time to do it.
Nice, nice, man. I like your sign. There, let
Thank
me zoom in on that.
a neon sign. It's a glass acrylic, and then it has my logo on it. So I figure I'll throw that in there, just kind of represent a little bit,
Oh man, that thing's dope. Hey, I also wanted to here on the stream on the chat, Hank's on here.
Heck,
Remember Hank who did the wheels back then?
oh
Lowrider
yeah,
wheels. Yeah, yeah. Shout out to him, man.
shout out. Yeah,
haven't seen
Hank,
Hank in a
man.
minute.
Then it's been a minute for real.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. And then
Shout out to everybody that's logged in right now.
yeah, and then also David Guerrero, he mentions he's working on the grill. Is that for that
Yeah,
truck?
yeah. Shout out to him, man. That's my
Collab.
guy.
That's dope.
He's helping me out with this build. So like I said, it's not. I always shout out everybody who helps out on my builds, and he's gonna be a big part of that because that grill, it's a real focal point of that build. So
Yeah. Damn,
looking
that's dope.
forward to. I
Nah, I
this is
mean he's always busting out some cool stuff that
very cool
he
stuff.
uploads
Yeah,
the
man.
files for people to get too.
Yeah, man. By the way, I bought a 3D printer. I bought a 3D printer. It's not
Oh
set up
shoot.
yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bought a 3D printer.
Dope.
I don't know a lot about it yet. But I have two guys in my club who've been already printing, so they're gonna, give me a crash course on it. But like I said, with everything I had going on this year, it's been hard for me to find time to set that up. But
Yeah, you still have it in the box?
it's still in the box. It's still in the box. I
Right
have
on.
been watching videos and just kind of like there's a lot of good videos out there of newbies telling you what you should buy, what you should have, and
Yeah.
how do you dispose of like stuff once it's gone. So
Oh, shoot.
it's been great. But like I said, I just like hopefully that's one of the things I get to do this summer.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah, you get the first tutorial video. All right, guys, you got to go out, buy this knife. This is going to be the knife. You're going to open up the box
Yeah,
first and bust out the
yeah, man.
manual. Dan, that's cool, man. Congratulations. I haven't bought in a printer yet. I mean, but in the future, I do plan to, man. But that's pretty awesome. You took the plunge and you copped it.
Yeah. Actually, it wasn't one that it wasn't in the plan actually, but it just kind of a deal came up. Someone was bought it and they just kind of never got around to taking it out the box either. So I ended up I kept it for a good deal, and once I set it all up, I'll probably do a YouTube video on it, and
Yeah.
I'll be hitting up David Guerrero and everybody else slowly.
Yeah, hit up Casey. Shout out to Casey.
Casey and all those guys, Ryan from Z Force. That's another one of my guys. He's awesome. But
That's
these
cool.
guys are already pioneers in our hobby, doing their thing with the 3D printing.
Nah, I know, man. Like, imagine if you like figured out how to just start designing white body kits left and right.
Oh no, dude, that's in the plans. I don't want to go ahead and say that I'm gonna do it, but trust me, that's in the plans. I do need to learn how to draw it up because I have a lot of builds that is gonna require me to do some custom parts like that, and I'm gonna kind of see it as not kind of like a business, but kind of as a for me, build a couple of parts from my builds and then see where it goes from there.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely that's I mean, I'm surprised I haven't started that already, but it's definitely the way to go. I have so many builds in my mind, but it's gonna require me to build my own custom parts that way. And man, it's the way right now of stepping it up, bringing your builds to a different level, you know.
Yeah. Did you see the wide body for the Nissan Z that Black Box announced that he's gonna be coming
Yeah,
out with?
yeah, man. I actually I have that kit. Let me show you.
Yeah, bust it out. Let's see.
I right on top of my bench, I have a little shelf here.
Ooh, let's see. Let me zoom in. Let's see for the
All
listeners.
right, so
All
I
right, go
just
for
show
it.
you a couple of my, like kind of like my favorite box art builds that I have here. So as you can see, there's that new Z there, the yellow one.
Yep,
So
that's the one. That's dope.
yeah, so I just actually got that one. I think a week ago.
Nice. You haven't
Yes.
even opened it yet, huh?
No, I haven't. I haven't opened it, but I do wanna. I do gonna wait a little while to see. Maybe Scale Stars. Um, one of these guys. They'll do a wide body. So I'm thinking. I asked Fugu at Fugu Garage, and I asked Scale Stars because those are the ones that have been doing these body kits mainly for these new kits. So I asked them both, and they do say they're gonna build some. There's one body kit that would love to have for that body style, which is called a Street Fighter kit, white body kit. It was at SEMA this year. So
Nice.
hopefully one of those guys do that build, because do that body kit, because that's the one I would love to see in my model, you know.
Yeah, no, yeah, that's dope. How do you like about that? Like, so different entities, different companies coming out, pushing, just keep coming out with like
Pushing.
new stuff.
I think it's great because it's keeping us interested in buying these new kits, because we want to see what we see in the shows and in SEMA, and we get inspired. And once you see that kit is available in that wide body, it makes you want to, what, I want to build that car, with that body kit. So man, it feels real good that these companies are doing that, and hopefully in the future I'll be one of those that bring out stuff like that in the future to keep the hobby going, because I'm so invested in this hobby that I can't see myself walking away. So I might as well uh you know learn as much as I can, and try to give back, offer some cool stuff, because I got a lot of stuff in my mind that I want to put out there eventually.
Yeah, and then I also like that you purchase different aftermarket parts from different companies and
Yeah,
you save them, from over the years because later they come in handy on a future build.
exactly. And a lot of times I try to just especially with these resin and 3D parts now, um, sometimes then they don't offer the file, so you have to, like Scale Production. They always have some cool stuff, and once they sell out of the first run, you don't know if they're gonna bring those parts back. So I try to buy as much as I can for stuff that I know I'm gonna use, because later on, if I think about it and I go back, let's just say a year later, and I'm like, oh, I remember those seats or those wheels were in this site. Now you go on the site and they're not available. They're not in or they won't restock them. So you lost your chance. So like Zoom on, oh my gosh, they just keep pumping some sick stuff. Like, let me
Yeah,
just show you real
that's
quick. I got
yeah, I just saw they recently, was it yesterday or 2 days ago, they posted about the NSX, like parts for that.
yeah,
And I'm like, all right, here we go. I gotta definitely get that. Damn, let's see. Let's zoom in on your stash right there.
yeah. So like I got like these. Some of these are like when they first started bringing stuff out. So I have these already. This is Zoom On, Hobby Design, and Scale Stars. That's a body kit. But I have the Zoom On stuff there, and Hobby Design, and yeah, man, like I try to go ahead and hold on, excuse me. I try to go ahead and try to get those stuff before they're not available again, you know?
Yeah,
So,
yeah, because once it's done, like you said, it's done a lot of the times.
yeah, exactly. And some of these like Zoom On, man, their quality is super sick, you know? So, I don't want to like say, oh man, I should have bought it. And then when I go back to the site now, it's like not available no more. And they don't plan to, like they want to go already start the next. It's just even with like Gavin with lowrider model car parts, you kind of got to jump on it now because he's already starting new parts, and he's going on to the next set of different wheels, the next set of parts. So kind of like you got to jump on them. The way I see it, you got to kind of jump on those parts, uh, even if you're not building that build now, but just have them. Try to get them as much as you can before they run out, and then he may or may not put it back out there. So
Yeah, or things change, at some point, like there might be some mods or something, that happens to some of these parts too, that that people are going to be like, wait a minute, they switched this up, or this is like the 2.0 or 3.0 like
right,
version, and people are like, no, I want the first ones that came
the
out.
original, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. And that's one of those things where like that's why I try to, like, when I know it's something I really want, I try to get it before it's gone for good.
Damn, dude, I'm admiring that poster behind you, the yellow one.
Oh,
That's
thanks,
from your
man.
guys'
This is
events, right? Not the Eurofest.
one of our banners from our show. We always did a diorama, and I know you probably guys see it backwards, but this was we did a Eurofest 1 year, and that was one of the banners. So I said, you know what, let me put it up there because that way there's something in the back of me when we do this little Zoom.
Yeah, that's cool. No, it looks tight, dude.
Yeah.
Your room looks dope. Like I like
Thanks, bro.
the
I
shelves
mean,
on the top with the models.
yeah, I try to I try to this is actually my basement of my house. So um like this is also my lab here with my models, and this is where I do all my work, and you know I kind of, it's my little like my happy place in the house. Everyone is upstairs, but they come down to do laundry and everything,
Yeah.
and they let me be. They just let me be. The kids
Right
let me
on.
be. The wife let me be. So
Dang.
yeah.
Is there a moment like you're upstairs and you're like you finish all the chores and everything, you're like, all right, it's time to go downstairs. And as first as you're
Yeah.
taking those first steps, they call your name, you're like, oh, I gotta go back.
Yeah. Oh man, trust me. That's all part of it. I I always have something I gotta do, but once I'm done, most of the time I'm down here, and my these builds keep me busy, and I'm lucky to have at least this room to do all this stuff.
Yeah, that's dope, man. That's a nice space. Yeah, because not everybody, has that. Sometimes you got to be portable, just working on the kitchen table or the dining
And
table
don't,
or whatever.
yeah, and you're right, and don't get me wrong. There's guys who don't need none of this space, and they put out some sick builds. So you don't really need a big space to do this, but it's always nice if you can, you
Yeah.
try to this. Yeah, it's always nice if you can have a space. But one of my guys, he used to do, you know, those fold little tables, like I think they were called the um TV dinner tables, or anyway, that you fold, that
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
just
yeah,
like,
right on.
man, he used to pump out some sick builds, and he used to be like, man, yeah, man, I did this. Like, he said that he divorced from his previous wife, so he was just in the little apartment, the tiny apartment, and he used to bust out some sick, like, award-winning builds, and
Man,
he used to do everything in that little table, and I was like, yeah, that's sick, you know. So I
yeah.
mean, you don't really need it. You can do anything with in a little space, but it's
Mhm.
always nice when you have the ability to have a room dedicated to your hobby, you know.
Yeah, no, yeah, yeah. Dang, that's crazy. As far as I wanted to bring up paint, you know, I know we talked a little bit about it earlier, but
Mhm.
when you were getting into like, you know, like doing the model building and everything,
Mhm.
before airbrushing, I mean, you were doing rattle can. What was your to go to with rattle can?
It's always been Tamiya. Um, Once I used to use duplicate color, anything that I could get my hands on. But once I painted the one time with Tamiya, and then I used their clear, and it was just night and day. Like, the finish, um, easier to polish. Um, I just, like, Tamiya was the way to go. And testers was good, but they had a lot of enamels, and I never been a fan of enamels because they never really like cured. They don't really, like, they always feel like they're not dried yet, you know. So once I started with the Tamiya lacquers, it was a wrap. You know, I still use Tamiya spray cans, but I decant them now because I just the only thing I still use the primer cans. I still use them right out the can, but I do also decant the primer, and actually it goes a lot longer than you know, spraying it out of the can. So, and being that these paints just keep going up in price, man. $11, $12 for the Tamiya can for, you know, primer. It made me want to decant it, but I can, like I said, I need like fully leave the cans, and like I still can bust out a good finish with rattle cans, but I noticed that it's wasteful, you know. That I can the the paint will go a lot longer if I decant and I shoot it out the airbrush,
Yeah.
and that's what I'm doing lately.
When you talk about like decanting, what's your process on decanting a can? Like, how do you do it?
Pretty easy. Let me see if I can show you real quick what I use. So uh, let me turn this on real quick.
Yeah, because I just always think about like, you know, there probably someone at home that might be watching this might want to know, like, just
Right,
I don't know, kind of your method of
right,
how it's
okay.
kind of done.
Yeah, so let me kind of set up real quick here. So let's switch real quick to my booth. So this is my booth, right? Uh, it's kind of messy here, but what I do is I have it in a plastic cabinet here, and I kind of just put it inside there, and it's just one of those small Amazon booths, right? So for decanting, pretty much a straw. You see one of these straws with the elbow there. So let me just show you real quick what I do. So what I do is, um, let's just say I usually use one of those Tamiya glass bottles, like one of these. So basically, with these straws, the nice thing about these straws, they fit right on the tip here. Give me 1 second. So you can see the straw fits perfectly on there. I'm talking about the smaller straws and the elbow there.
Damn, yeah, that does fit perfect on
It
there.
fits. It fits perfect. Some people put some of that tacky glue and stuff around it, but
Yeah.
actually it fits nice and tight. So what I do is I'll take a scissor and I'll cut the excess off. Let's say I want to spray it into this bottle. I'll just make sure I cut it here. And what I'll do is I'll open this bottle and then I'll just spray it onto there. But
Mm.
the thing is that what's gonna happen is that it's gonna come out like pressurized paint, right?
Uh-huh.
So what it is that what you have to do is leave the bottle open, do not touch it because it's pressurized. So what you have to let it gas out on its own. So you leave it without this glass, without a bottle, you spray it on there, and you kind of like leave it alone and you give it like an hour for it to gas out. And then you can I usually use one of those mixing balls. I throw like two of them in there and then I close it, and then that's it. And then, like I said, this straw comes off real easy. It just fits right in there. I mean, for Tamiya, that's how I do the Tamiya paints. But you could do this with pretty much any paint. I mean, yeah, you could
Dang.
kind of pretty much do that with any paint. Um, some guys, you can tape around the nozzle of it, and pretty much that's how it works for me.
That's
And
dope.
yeah, it works out really good, and that's how I've been doing it for a while.
Hmm. Man, yeah, that's pretty nice. Yeah, I always wondered about like how long you after you decant it, how long do you let the paint kind of settle and chill?
Yeah,
Uh,
man. Like, if you do touch that paint, it'll pressurize and try to come off the like it'll erupt out of the bottle. So
yeah,
yeah, so, like
dang.
it makes a mess,
It's
but
almost like it's like hitting the top of a beer bottle, right? When you open it and then everything comes
exactly,
out.
exactly. Exactly like that. So basically, like I made a mess the first couple of times, but now that since I know, I kind of decanted. What happens is that pressurized paint is like ice cold. It's like really cold, so it kind of takes a while for it to gas out, and
Mhm.
then for the temperature to go back to normal. So I kind of leave it for like an hour and just leave it there in my spray booth there, let it gas out, and then like an hour later or something like that, I'll kind of just kind of slightly shake the bottle to see if it bubbles up a little, because at this point now it had much gas out most of the time.
Yeah,
And if it doesn't react too much, like when I kind of shake it, then I know it's good to go, and then I could just put the lid on it, and that's it.
damn.
But the
Cool.
important thing is to let it gas out. Meaning, I seen guys like do the straw method, but they actually tape the whole bottle and just like stick the straw in there. And what happens is that you're not letting it gas out. You gotta let
Mhm.
those fumes come out. So
Yeah.
that's kind of the trick of it. And once I learned that, that's how I've been doing it, and I've been lucky. I haven't had to make a big mess anymore.
Yeah, no, that's cool, man. Damn, that's crazy. Let me see if anybody has any questions in the chat.
Sure.
I could ask you before we wrap this episode up.
Sure.
What time is it over there on your end right now?
2:31 in the
All right,
morning.
man. Hey, in the morning, not PM, but AM.
A.m. But it's all good, man. This I'm having fun. At least I don't work tomorrow, so this is actually a good time for me, like I told you before, because
Yeah,
I don't have no interruptions. Probably if
yeah.
it was 2:31 in the afternoon, I have my kids calling me to make them something to eat, or
Uh,
or my wife is calling me for a chore or something.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And like, like at these hours, are you finding yourself like building sometimes or on these
Yeah, if
hours?
I don't work the next day, sometimes if I do take a nap during the day that I stay up and I can't sleep, then I'll get on the bench and I'll do something, you know.
Mhm.
But my hours vary, you know, because it always depends on what kind of work day I have, you know, because when I'm working, I'm gone 24 hours. You know, I'm a first responder. I'm a fireman. So when I'm at work, I'm gone 24 hours. So when I come back, if I have a quiet night, then maybe I can just take a nap and then get on the bench if I don't have errands to do. But but if I have like a busy night, then
Mhm.
sometimes like I get home and I just need to rest, you know. So
Yeah.
I'll just sleep for a while, you know, after I take the kids to school and kind of unwind and relax, and then you know, maybe later on in the afternoon after I pick up the kids from school, maybe I'll do something.
Yeah,
It, like
yeah.
I said, it varies. It varies with me, you know.
Yeah, it just switches up. And then too, because
Mhm.
you could come back home, you might be super tired or something, from a long
Yeah,
day.
that's just it. That's what happens sometimes, you know.
Dang.
Get home and then I'm tired. So
Yeah. What besides like the Nissan Z, is there any other new model kit that you're quite excited about? That
I think
recently came out or it's gonna come out?
I'm excited about that Liberty Walk Aventador, the blue one.
Hmm.
Uh, actually, I put a pre-order for it. Give me a
Yeah,
second.
let's see show us the box art to that one.
Yeah, look at that box art. Look how sick it is. That's the newest one. I put a pre-order on it with Hobby Search, I believe, because they
Mhm.
were the only ones at first that were
It-
offering it.
that thing looks aggressive, dude. It looks
Yeah,
dope. Oh,
so I like it, and I'm excited about that one. I mean, if you look back over here, I have the first one that came out, which is this one, 17.
mhm.
Uh, but yeah, I'm excited about the event to do. I already have plans for it. I know what how
Dang.
long. So yeah, that's another one of those new kits that I'm excited about.
Hmm. Those Helix look dope. Those like
Yeah,
I recently got two. I got like two copies of each today. But the surf one, that one's like super sick.
yeah, it's sick. I want to talk to you real quick about this Spoon Civic.
Hmm.
So this is a Hasegawa plain Civic. It comes in. This is a special kit because only Spoon sold it at the Spoon factory, and they were limited. You see, it says limited edition. So what I loved about it, that box art is so sick, you know. So pretty much it has Spoon decals in it, but it doesn't really have like all the details to it. But I just loved it because it was the box art. So the box art was pretty cool. So so
Dang. Casey wants to know what's your favorite kit ever?
ooh, that's tough, man.
Ever, and you got to pick one.
favorite kit, favorite kit ever, man. Uh, I'll tell you what. This one right here, this Rocket Bunny, I've only built it once, but I was able to build put some time in it. I love this kit. I'm not gonna say it's my favorite, but I love how it goes together. I love the aggressiveness of it. I love how Ashima did everything about it. Plus, they offer a lot of parts with it, like left hand have left hand drive and right hand drive options, and that's what I like about that kit. So that's definitely one of my favorites. But man, it's hard. It's hard to pick one. You know. Um, hopefully, once I get into once I get into building some of these other builds, I'm sure there's gonna be another favorite. Like probably you never know that new Z. It's all new tooling from Tamiya, and it's from what I see videos of, it's very cool build, like cool kit, like all like modern technology,
Yeah.
so that I probably maybe that one will be one of my favorites in the future once I start building that one. So
Yeah, I saw like the separation of the seats.
yes, man, like there's so much detail that go into them, and the way they engineered those kits, the new Tamiya kits, man, they always set the bar.
Mhm. That's dope.
Yeah.
Um, and then we have a Ryan. He wanted to know what airbrush do you use? I know you remember you told me you had just copped a new one.
Yeah, so I I started with the Iwata Neo from that I got at Hobby Lobby, that was like 60 or 70 bucks, and that served me well. But I upgraded from there and just got the better Iwatas. Um, I got an Eclipse. I also just got I tried a couple like let me see what I got here. So I just recently got some of my airbrushes here. Let me just switch this. Um so this is also a Wada right here, and then I bought the pistol grip on it too. So this is the HPTR2. Um, it's a really nice. It has a side trigger, side bottle here. So this one's nice. It has a 5.5 needle. So I'm gonna try to. I'm gonna start using my clears with that one. I just got this one from Hobby, uh, Mr. Hobby, Creoles. I just literally got this one. So I'm gonna try this one as well for my primers and my clears. So this is one that I've been using. But my pretty much my workhorse is this the trigger version of the Neo. I've been using this airbrush now. This is probably like the one I've been using the most. I also have the Grex, and the Grex is also a trigger one like this. I have it disassembled now because I did a deep clean on it, and that one that one's one of my favorites as well. So like I've been actually buying extra different ones to try, but if I would say if I have a favorite, pretty much any water is my favorite. Later on, maybe if I need something for fine detail, there's a Badger called 2020 that I've been seeing videos on for like small little detail stuff. So maybe I'll try to use if that one goes on sale, I might try that one. But in short, I recommend Grex. I know a lot of people don't know about it, but Grex is the really high quality airbrush, and I could recommend that one because I started with one of those too, and Iwata pretty much, I will recommend anybody if they want to try any, start off with one of those Iwatas from Hobby Lobby, and then from there, that's a good airbrush to start with.
Yeah, I remember the like seeing like the Grex. I've always wanted to try one. I haven't, but
yeah,
I'm still like I have that on my list, like to add it to the collection, just because I noticed that they have a conversion kit that could take you all the way to a 7.
Yeah, it does.
And I was like, dang, a 7? You could probably shoot like microflake through that.
Yeah, exactly. So and the nice thing about it is they sell everything separate too. Like so if you lose anything, I think there's I think it's Spray Gunner, one of those sites.
Oh yeah,
That's
yeah.
how you
Spray
any
Gunner.
little Spray Gunner, and there's another one. I forgot the name of it, but they I'm sure what's that one by you over there in Cali?
Coast Airbrush.
Yeah, Coast.
Yeah, they
They
do
also
carry some of their
have
stuff
everything
too.
for that too. So,
Mhm.
you know, I definitely recommend those. You know, if you want to try. But yeah, those are the ones I use for
Yeah,
now.
those are pretty cool.
Mhm.
Man, that's dope, man. Well, hey, George, this was fun. It was nice
Definitely, man.
catching up, man.
Definitely,
It's been
man.
a while. You know, it was just nice to see you, hear from you. You know, it's been a minute since, you know, taking a break from Instagram. We hope to see you back soon up
Yeah,
again and posting up some updates on stuff like that.
definitely. I mean, you know, like I said, I'm gonna start working on that truck for Amando's thing. So I'll start posting for that.
Yeah.
And you know, I just wanna thank everybody for, you know, continue to support me, and you guys been kicking ass, because I even though I don't post, that doesn't mean I'm not seeing what you guys are doing. So I
Yeah.
looking forward I'm looking forward to get back on it, and you know, we'll definitely see some of you guys at the shows.
Awesome. Thank you. And you know,
Yep.
shout out to everybody who tuned in, the questions on the chat as well. And if you guys aren't following George, make sure you check him out on Instagram at VisionONE24.
Yeah.
So this was episode number 199. Thank you, George. Happy New Year as
Happy
well.
New Year.
And you know, we look forward to seeing your future builds for sure.
Likewise. Thanks, brother. Thanks
All right, man.
for having me on, and
Yeah.
I have a good night.
All right. You too, man. Take
Take
care.
care.